Good morning, folks. The picture you see in front of you is a picture of Mr. Kenneth Kaplan. He is about to do 20. Now, that may not really mean much, except for the fact that Mr. Kaplan was a reserve deputy for the City of Houston Police Department. Now, Mr. Kaplan was convicted of shooting a woman in the head during a road rage incident. And he shot her in the head while he was on duty. Okay, no, I take that back. He shot her in the head while he was on paid leave from several other road raging incidents. This guy is one of thousands of cops deemed mentally stable by a psychologist who this month pleaded guilty to not conducting face-to-face evaluations with police recruits. In other words, there are a hell of a lot more guys out there like him in the city of Houston. So that begs the question, how many more cops like him are out there all across this country? Let me tell you this guy's story. As a Harris County Reserve Deputy, Kenneth Kaplan racked up 18 road rage incidents over a 2-year span, including waving his gun at drivers while driving 95 miles an hour on Interstate 45, according to the Houston Chronicle. On another occasion, he pulled over a driver in his civilian role, but that driver was a police officer who filed a report. Back in May, his defense lawyer said he should never have been licensed as a peace officer. Kaplan was already on employee probation for anger issues when he opened fire on a 20-year-old Lori Anab for honking her horn when he cut her off during rush hour in Houston on 610 Loop at Stella Link. When the cop caught up with the woman, he rolled down his window and shot into her car. Thankfully, the bullet only grazed her head, and despite being badly injured, she survived. But now she suffers seizures as a result of the attack. The doctor told her that her case was 1 in a million and he had never seen one like this before. She said she honestly felt like she got a taste of death. Kaplan, at the time, said shooting the woman wasn't intentional, but even if it was, it still would have been justified because she was driving aggressively. He cuts her off, shoots her, but she was the one driving aggressively. Yeah, right. After all, he told the Houston Press, Anab was not the victim. She should have been the one prosecuted for aggravated assault instead. In a January interview with the press, Kaplan explained why he thought he was innocent for shooting into Anab's car and grazing her head with a bullet. He said, "What I did was more than legal. I had every right. I don't bullshit anybody. I'm not the kind of person to lie. I'm going to tell you this, if I really tried to kill this woman in cold blood, I wouldn't be saying anything to anybody. My mouth would have been shut from the very beginning. I would have said lawyer, and that would have been the end of it. I tried to explain to the detectives. They would not believe it. I'm a fellow fucking police officer. What the hell is wrong with these people?" Yeah, and the psychologist passed this guy. But anyway, now here's the information on the lady that's suing and also on the psychologist. Anab is suing not only Kaplan and the Harris County in civil court, she's also suing the psychologist who vouched for him to become a cop. What sticks out is this was not an accident. This was an incident waiting to happen. First, when I read it, it was chilling, her attorney Steve Couch said. It's a huge question mark in my opinion, he added, referring to Kaplan's employment file which showed he had been fired from 12 of the 21 jobs he had over the past 5 years. Just last week, Dr. Carol Busick pleaded guilty to tampering with government records and admitted to tampering with the mental health evaluations of peace officers because oftentimes she never even saw them face to face. I engaged a psychologist that said she fell short of the standard in testing and evaluating Kaplan if she tested him at all, Couch said, referring to Dr. Busick. According to county financial records, Busick was paid nearly $700,000 for her services since May of 2013. Dr. Carol Busick, with her attorney Mike Hinton, pleaded guilty to tampering with government evidence after being accused of giving free passes to potential officers. She was sentenced to 10 years of deferred education probation. According to the Chronicle, Busick certified 1,860 of the 4,000 Harris County Sheriff's Office employees, which is nearly half. As of May 2016, only 82 have been retested. The Texas Tribune found Busick was signing off on the mental health of officers without even meeting them face to face. I think if she would have evaluated him like she was supposed to, this would never have happened, Anab said. Kaplan was also kicked out of Law Enforcement Academy for acting hostile, ignoring safety standards, jumping the chain of command several times, and lying. The jurors deliberated less than an hour before deciding to sentence Kaplan to the 20-year maximum back in May. Now, obviously, this lady's lucky that she's alive, and she is going to get paid. She is definitely going to get paid. But the more important aspect of this story is, how many more cops are out there that would fail a mental evaluation? How many more cops in Houston fit the same profile as this asshole? Let's take that a step further. And I have said this multiple times. Who is checking all of the police officers throughout the country as far as their mental health is concerned, their psychological evaluations are concerned, and who are the people that are supposed to check the checkers? I am willing to bet anything that at least 20+% of the police officers employed in this country, if given a proper psychological evaluation, would fail. This is just an example of my hypothesis.